We're going to start out with the news that the Steelers have signed outside linebacker Markus Golden. And I'm fired up this morning, Ike, because this guy went to my alma mater. He's a Mizzou guy. And Markus Golden, back in the 2014 season, when your guy was an undergrad at the University of Missouri, he was one of my favorite players to watch on the Missouri Tigers team. I'll tell you more about him during his college days, but has experience with the Cardinals, experience with the Giants. And this was one thing. It was a criticism I had, but the wrath of Khan continues. Omar Khan and the Steelers getting edge rushing depth behind TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. Yet another hole addressed this offseason, Ike. And I think this is a very solid addition for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
6'3", 260, coming from Mizzou. Just got him from Arizona. Markus Golden. Mark. Let's be for real. Since the time we've been on this show, I've never seen Pittsburgh being this aggressive in the offseason, ever. And that says a lot about the wrath of, like you say, Omar Khan, a.k.a. the Khan artist. He's trying to do this thing right now. And just seeing how Omar is moving, Mark, it's like he's trying to get that locker room to where it used to be when I played. Aggressive, violent on defense, depth on defense, competitive, and we was winning Super Bowls at the time. And I know Omar has two, but Omar doesn't have two as a GM. But God damn it, Mark, he showed trying to get it, and he's stating his case just off of the moves he's making, Mark. So Omar, in my mind, and it's just my personal opinion, on a mission. He on a mission. And for Pittsburgh, getting to the playoffs ain't good enough. He on a mission to get to a Super Bowl and to win it. So we shall see towards the end of the season. I've always said I had a good feeling from the beginning of the offseason leading to the draft, then after the draft. But, the draft just still continues, Mark. It's just like once do something, you'd be like, he going to chill. Then he wind up doing something else. You'd be like, all right, he didn't do enough. Then he wind up doing something else. You'd be like, oh, yeah, he on a mission for real. So time will tell, and we'll see the final result, Mark. But at the same time, man, on a mission. And him signing Markus Golden, that's just letting you know, man, like he just remembers back in the day how competitive, whether you was 3 or 4 on the depth chart, it still was competitive, and the next man always been up.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up his stats right now for our viewers to see this so you can see his statistical production. Time in Arizona, time in New York. He's actually had 2 stints in Arizona, but it was the edge rushing depth that was a true concern of mine, Ike, because I like what I've seen from TJ Watt. He, tied Michael Strahan's single season sack record. Then Alex Highsmith, I thought, played almost at a Pro Bowl level a season ago, and he's entering a contract season. So you like both of those players off the edge for Pittsburgh, but it was the depth that was a concern of mine. Now, having said all of this too, I think they'll likely get Golden on a good contract because there's a lot of good edge rushers still available in free agency. I'm talking about Yannick Ngakoue, Jadeveon Clowney, Leonard Floyd, Melvin Ingram, Frank Clark. There's a lot of players out there. If Omar Khan says, okay, Markus Golden's going to be the guy, he's going to be the one to help fill this void to make sure that we have the proper depth to keep TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith fresh and not miss a beat when that other player's on the field. I have all the confidence in the world that Markus Golden is going to be able to fulfill this role for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, we'll see what Mark going to do. Mark is a savvy veteran. He's been in the league for a long time. He knows what it is to be a professional. He's been productive, consistently productive over the course of his career, Mark. So O know what he's doing. But O looking for a certain style of guy. He's looking for a guy who will come in, fit that locker room, and be a Pittsburgh Steeler. If his number is called up, he's going to come in and contribute. And if you just look at statistically what Markus have done over the course of his career, Markus Golden I'm talking about, he's just been Mr. Consistent. And like you said, you can't get enough of 2 things when it comes down to the defense. You can't get enough guys in the secondary who can cover, and you can't get enough guys who can come off the edge and get to the quarterback. Because that's the way the NFL is going. So you got to look at it like your third best rusher got to be like a nickel in the secondary. Got to be a guy who can able to somewhat come in as a starter if somebody goes down and be productive. So I just made that up. I hope it sounded right.
When I was a senior at University of Missouri in 2014, the year before Missouri had gone to the SEC championship game down in Atlanta, they start the 2014 season 3-0. It's family weekend. Missouri's hosting Indiana, and Markus Golden didn't play. He had a hamstring injury. Long story short, family weekend was ruined because the Indiana Hoosiers came into Columbia, Missouri and upset my alma mater. And it was because Golden didn't play. He didn't miss a game for the rest of the season. Missouri only lost 2 games, got back to the SEC title game that year too. So early on in the season, it was like, wow, my hopes and dreams for what was a magnificent season the year before, we're not going to get back to Atlanta to compete for a conference championship. But he was a big part of that. He teamed with Shane Ray out of Mizzou all those years ago. So I'm going to be very, very biased. I love my Mizzou guys, Ike, but I think this is going to be a perfect role for him. I just hope he doesn't get upset because TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith are awfully good. They're a great duo. But when you need to keep them fresh, when you need to keep them off the field for a play, a series, a third down, I think Golden's going to be able to come in there and you're not going to miss a beat. So I just hope there's enough snaps to go around. But at the age of 32 at this point in his career, when the Steelers are going to be able to count on him, as long as he doesn't get disgruntled with his role, Ike, I really like this signing. And again, I'm going to stump for my Mizzou games all day long.
There's really no need for Marcus to get upset. To be honest, I think Pittsburgh, what Pittsburgh is getting back to is just telling guys when they get them, this is going to be your role. If you and I feel like, we got the best duo when it comes down to edge rushing. So you just coming in and contribute and hopefully helping us hoist a Lombardi or two. So it's one thing I know about Coach T. He's gonna tell you what it is, what he wants you to do from the dope. Now you can come in and be like, you know what, I'm gonna try to start, but you ain't starting over, Smitty and TJ Watt. That's just not gonna happen. I know. So that's just, you're gonna come down, you're gonna come in, you're gonna be, hopefully you can work your way up, or gonna be the third outside linebacker coming in and making plays and getting rushes. And just look at how Smitty just came along when TJ Watt got hurt. Like TJ is contagious. And what I mean by TJ is contagious is his work ethic off the field and see what he does on the field. When TJ plays, it's a high percentage that the Pittsburgh Steelers wins. When TJ is not on the field, it's a high percentage that Pittsburgh's not going to win. So TJ is the key factor, whether it's on the offense or defensive side for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, until somebody else, step into play, and it changes the realm on how you look at Pittsburgh. So, being disgruntled, he just got to be patient. And he's been patient all his life. But coming in and thinking you're going to be Smitty and TJ, man, that's hard. That's the 2 best duels in my mind. That's the 2 best duels. Just understand, you're going to play. And that's what, Marcus, I guess that's what they told him. And I'm just guessing. You're going to play. Yeah. We just don't know how many snaps you're going to play in each game. Some games you might get more than others. As you know, TJ doesn't play every down in every game. Smith, you're gonna wind up coming in and giving Smitty a break. So regardless of how you look at it, let's just say you play 15 snaps a game. You got 15 opportunities to get to the quarterback, especially if it's situational football. So he gonna get plenty of snaps to make his play. So I wouldn't say disgruntled. I wouldn't want him to come in or trying to be disgruntled. He's gonna get between the 2 guys. He's gonna give them guys rest and give them breaks, and he's gonna have opportunity to get to the quarterback as well, Mark.
Yeah, I can. Don't forget the Steelers brought in Bud Dupree this offseason for a visit, considering bringing back the former Steelers player. He ended up going to Atlanta, but then again, the depth, you had Nick Herbig in the draft. You also have Quincy Roach. Last season, the Steelers traded for Malik Reed. He's no longer on the team. So again, it was that depth that I was looking for. And again, going back to the Wrath of Khan, what has been a very impressive offseason for the Steelers.